Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I am in the garden. It's December. We've got about maybe 11 to 12 more days before it is January, and I am cutting back some plants. I'm cleaning up. I am watering, and if you'd like to see all of the little things I'm getting into today, stay tuned. It's that time of the year where my asparagus is looking a lot worse for the wear. So I am going to be cutting it down, feeding it, putting some compost on top of it, and leaving it for the winter. I have 2 pots of asparagus. This one I'm going to cut back. I'm going to feed it and I'm going to leave it. The other one, I'm going to be repotting it. I'm going to cut it back today, but I'm going to be repotting that in the coming weeks because the pot is completely trashed and it's time to move it and get that pot out of here. So today, I'm just doing a little cleanup. Asparagus dies back every winter, and it's important to clean it up because it gets really big and bushy, and by the end of the season it is a hot mess. This looks like it is dead, but it is not. I guarantee you there is plenty of green still in there. So I am just going to cut these stalks back, and I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me move you all down a little bit more. I hope you all can see what I'm doing. I have a tote off to my left. I'm actually going to move it. I'm going to move it off to my right. I'm going to be using this tote for a different purpose, but for right now, this tote is serving as my trash bin. I'm just going to cut these tops down. Some of them I'm going to put in the municipal trash or recycle, and some of them I'm going to lay on top and let them feed the plant itself. Now, there are still some asparagus seeds in here, and I'm going to do my best to take a few of them and get them in the bag. Let's see. I do have a bag that I've been harvesting. Let me get that bag. I am not prepared today. Not only am I cutting back my asparagus, but I am watering. It's that time of the year where you don't have to water as frequently as you would in the spring, summer, or fall. And it's that time that I need to water. I took everything off of the drip irrigation several weeks ago, and so everything needs a really deep drink, and then they'll go for quite some time without drinking again because you don't have to water as frequently as I mentioned. So all I'm doing is going in here and I am cutting these stems. They're pretty tough because they've dried, and I am trying to just get them cut back, and then I'll pull them out. So let me do this and I'll be right back. Before I pull these ferns or fronds out, I can see that there are seed pods. So I'm going to try to grab them and get them in my hand without dropping them on the ground, and get them in the bag that I have down here at my feet. Now, I purposely try to let these dry on the plant because that's easier for me. I did harvest some in the fall, and what I found is these seeds, and let me see if I can show them to you. These seeds, there are multiple seeds in there, and this seed pod is very moist. It's best to let them dry, and so that's why I left them on the plant to give them a chance to dry a little bit, because when you try to pull them off when they are just turned red, they're very soft and they will start to mush on you and smush up. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to mess up the seed pod. And how I know that is because I've messed up a few seed pods. So I am going to harvest these seeds, and I'm sure I'm going to have some asparagus popping up in places that I don't want it. If I see those baby asparagus popping up, what I will do is I will dig them up, put them in a little pot, and they will be shipped off to somewhere, but they're not going to live here. So let me finish this project and I will be right back. Because my seeds are viable, I did put a few seeds inside of the container. I just let them fall. I am going to put some homemade compost on top of this. But before I do that, I'm going to put some fertilizer in here and let it be. I've cut it back and I'm going to leave it just like this. I don't know if you all can see. Let me get you in a little bit closer. I still have green stalks. It is not dead. It is alive. I've just pushed down the tops, the ferns, to kind of insulate it. We are going to be getting some freezing temperatures down into the 30s. Not this week, I don't believe. It said that we might one day, but I don't. The weather has been changing, so I don't believe that. It is still pushing up baby asparagus, so it is alive. It is growing. This is the most mature one that I eat off of, so I want to make sure that I protect it. I want to feed it, and I want it to keep growing nicely. So let's move on because I still have a lot to do and I've got watering to do as well. Now that I have everything chopped down and pushed down, I'm going to give it some fertilizer. This is Osmocote, um, Dr. Earth's, some bone meal, blood meal, and I think that's it. I'm just going to put a couple of handfuls since this is a 17-gallon container. And I will be watering in just a moment. And then I'll top it off with compost. But let me get to watering this area since I have it uncovered. And once I've had everything, water everything over here, then I'll cover everything back up. This is my youngest asparagus. It is not ready to harvest. It has to stay in the garden another 2 years before it can be eaten. So I'm just doing the exact same thing I did on the opposite side of the garden. I am just cutting back. Now, this was a surprise for me. I put some roots in here, some asparagus crowns, and I thought they were dead. And lo and behold, I said to myself, well, I'm not going to sit around and wait for something to grow that appears to be dead. So I started putting seeds from the mature plant that's over there on the other side of the garden. And look at this. I've got plant that grew from seed, and I have plant that is come up from the crown. And how I know that is the crowns were purple. And these stalks are coming up purple, some of them. So this is a mixture of my Mary Washington, and I don't remember the name, but I can look it up. I have the packet in the garage. Actually, no, it's in the shed. And I can tell you what the original name of this is because I don't know. But how exciting when you think something is dead and then you get a nice, beautiful surprise that it is not. And I've got something growing in here and I don't know exactly what it is. I have no idea what this is. Huh. The leaf kind of looks like a blackberry. That can't be. We're going to leave it and we're going to see what it does. See if it comes back. Now, some of the baby seeds are falling into the pot, and that's fine because if any of it dies, I want to make sure that it will come back because of the seeds. And if I find any asparagus growing where I don't want it to grow, then what I will do is I will pluck them out like I said. I see one seed back there that I will need to get. They're easily, you can spot them easily. You all can't see it, but let me shimmy back there and get it. I do not want to lose sight of it. There we go. I don't see any others, but I don't know if you all can see that. There's a seed right there. I'm just going to plop it in the pot, and I will be taking this out of here and putting it into a 17-gallon container that has the okra in it, but the okra is not ready to come out yet. So as soon as that okra is ready to come out, or I've just decided, you know what, let me take it, then I will transfer this. But for right now, I'm just going to clean it up. I'm going to feed it, and I'm going to leave it alone. And I have a seed all the way back there that I'm trying to grab. I'm going to put that in the pot as well. We just let the seeds fall back in the pot. And I know my seeds are viable because I had a baby pop up in one of my brassica pots over on the other side of the garden. So seeds are viable. All right, so that is what we've done with this pot. 2 pots down and many more pots to go. And this one is still growing. I've got baby asparagus popping up. I did chop the tops off of them, but that's okay. See, that's green, very much alive. We're going to leave it alone. There's another one in there, green, very much alive. And I'm very curious to what this is. I want to snatch it out so bad. So I don't know what it is. You know what? I am going to snatch it out because I don't know what it is, and I don't want some random something growing in here that I don't know what it is. And, oh, by the way, it's really rooted, so I'm going to have to get my trowel and get it out. So I'm going to leave it alone for right now. We're going to leave it. Okay. Now let's get the watering hose and let's water everything back here. And then we're going to call it a night because everything needs a really, really good drink. And I still have flowers growing. I've got flowers that I put flower bulbs in. Those look like irises. And let's see here. I know you all cannot see, so hang on just one second. I've got irises coming up in the back there. My Rose of Sharon. My, what is this? This is my hibiscus. It is called Cherry Chocolate. It's alive and well back here. And it is dying back for the winter, but it's still alive back there. Rose of Sharon is dying back, but it's alive back there. It flowered this year. I didn't show you all because everything was covered up. But let's water so you all can see what's going on back there. I don't know how much of this you all can see. Try not to go too fast. Things are dying back for the winter, but I still have a lot of flowers. I've got bulbs coming up. Lots of flowers, they're dying back. I still have my shampoo ginger. All of that is shampoo ginger. Grape is dying back. Blackberry is dying back. Luckily, the malanga is still very, very happy. The leaves look like absolute garbage, but it's alive. The longevity spinach is alive. I'm afraid this Okinawan spinach has just been taken over by this longevity spinach. It is such a brute. But right here, I don't know if you all can tell, this right here is Okinawan spinach, and it is so much longer than it used to be. It goes all the way down in the pot. You can tell because on the back side of the leaves are purple. But it is alive. There are several branches to it. I do apologize, you all cannot see. The longevity spinach is just laying all in the pot. But all that dark green, that is Okinawan spinach. And all of this is longevity spinach. I have a huge Swiss chard. Y'all see that beautiful Swiss chard grown from seed? See if you all can see. Trying to move. I'm gonna have to clean it up. I do have some leaves that have gone over. I have some Swiss chard in there. I think it's called ruby chard. You can see that in there. I've got another pot of that. But yeah, way back in there, this was the Jerusalem artichoke pot. There's still some baby Jerusalem artichokes in there, but I threw a bunch of leek seeds back there, and they're coming up nicely. So this is just the one half of the garden back here. And I haven't taken you guys over there. Let's go over there. And I'm sorry you all cannot see very well, but everything is covered up, and I need to get everything covered back up because that's going to go down, I think, to 45 tonight. And I just want to make sure that my babies are covered. I don't have anything growing in these two pots right here. Those babies died, but that's okay. I have, what is that? That is garlic chive. So that's something, but not a brassica. These are all kales of some kind. They're different degrees of growth. What I can do is I can take some of these out and transplant them in pots over there. I probably won't, but there's a possibility. I've got cabbages going on, cabbages and Brussels sprouts and um, leeks and chives going on back there. Same with this pot over here. I have babies growing. Let's get this up. I've got babies growing in that pot as well. Same thing as the other big pot. So there's food growing. Um, those are sugar beets that I'm trying to go to seed. I transplanted those from another pot and they survived, so they're still growing. As you all can see, my pigeon pea is happy. It's growing. It's taller than the fence and it is flowering. Look at that. All right, everybody. The elderberry is dying back for the winter, but it is still here. Oh, I forgot this tomato plant was here. Look at that, y'all. I got tomatoes. Oh, and there's cabbage in there. I need to break that cabbage up. I got a bunch of cabbage in there. Look at that. See, that's what happens when you cover up stuff. You forget what's there. All right, I need to get to watering and cover this back up. I'm losing light. Thank you for joining me in the garden today. I greatly appreciate you coming into the garden. I know that at this time of the year, many of you are not gardening. It was 68 degrees today. It was in the 40s this morning, and many of you are under snow, or your temperatures are much colder than it is here. We had 81 degrees a couple of days ago. And so I'm still growing, as you can see. My garden is still lush when I pull back the covers. And so there are some things dying back for the winter, which is to be expected. But there is still life in the garden. So I want to get out all the covers and get everything covered up. I still have a few things that do need to be covered, like the cattle panel. I will need to cover and completely close it in before the end of the week because it's going to dip down into close to freezing, and I want to protect that. The sweet potatoes should die all the way back. They are dying back, and I'm okay with that. I just don't want the tubers to be affected. Right now, they don't appear to be affected at all. There's just a small patch that is on the outside of the cattle panel that is dying back. It's trying to grow up the cattle panel. Like it's literally trying to grow up the cattle panel. It's insane. But the weather is warm. So I need to get into this watering because I am losing light. I don't have very much more time, and I want to say thank you all for joining me today in the garden again. I greatly appreciate it. If you have not hit that like button, hit that like button. Uh, hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Leave me a comment, and I hope to see you either in my kitchen or my food forest real soon. I hate to rush off, but I gotta finish up. So, yeah, let me get at it. Bye, y'all. Ugh.